Hey guys, good afternoon. So the last video that we ended with saying that we were going to go on a tour and show you about that. So we did that. We bought the tickets. It was an all-day thing. It was from, we left here at like 7 in the morning, didn't get back till like 8. So it was literally all day. So we didn't make the video yesterday because we were pretty tired, but we're here to talk about it today. The first stop that we did was, some of these names are hard to pronounce. It was the Kokoro, I believe. I'm not too sure. But we were there, and it was a really small little location because what the tour mainly was about was just going through the Sacred Valley of the Incas. So within that is like little cities that they went ahead and established all of their, some of their homes and land and things. So that was the first stop. It was a really small market. There's a lot of ladies with alpaca, and you take pictures with them, and that's all it really was. And then just, of course, like stuff you can buy for all the tourists. So our second stop was Pisac. We've been through Pisac before, but not like this. We got to see the Sacred Valley of the Incas. That's within Pisac, and it was amazing. So in this park, when we got dropped off down at the very bottom, we have to continue to walk up. It's kind of a hike, but not too bad. The only thing that made it pretty bad was the climate, of being that the elevation was, it made it hard to breathe a little bit, but it was amazing. So then there are certain parts that were discovered by archaeologists, so it's just made it even more interesting that even some of the people that live here in Peru have history that they didn't even know about until, you know, it was discovered. But we're gonna show you pictures, and you'll be able to understand what we're talking about. When you walk up, there's a lot of these what they call grinders, and what they look like, some of them look like homes, others look like almost like it would be just like a food stand. But what they are is the Incas stored food there just in case for any type of disaster. And they came up with this idea because previously they had a huge landslide when the rains were really bad, and it took out the whole valley. So it took out all of their homes, their farms, and that's like pretty much like their income and how they survive is by farming. It took it all out. So then they thought, okay, well, we need, you know, to be smart and to kind of plan ahead, and that's how these grinders came across. And so they stored food sometimes on the lower levels to like dry the food out, and then some were in the really high mountains. It almost looks like homes or like little windows in the mountain. Those are also grinders, and they put them up so high because they say that the cool winds keep the food fresher, and because of the climate's a lot cooler the higher you go, so it's kind of like a refrigerator. And so that was really cool too. All throughout Cusco, we would drive by bus, by car, whatever, and you would see like these ridges in the mountains, and we never knew what they were until now. When we were walking by, you see they look like huge stairs. And what these are, the Inca people made these, and what they did is they built them inside the mountain, sometimes higher level, sometimes lower. But it's interesting because they built them from the top down instead of how some people would probably usually start from the bottom up. They started from the very top down so they can roll down rock to build some of their grinders. Also with these stairs, they built these so then that way if there was ever like landslides, avalanches, anything like that, that it kind of stalls it before taking out the city. So then after we pass the ridges, we walk further up and hike up. And as we're hiking up, it's getting harder to breathe, but it was okay. So as we walk up, you go ahead and you see these, they were called temples, but it almost, it just looked like buildings inside the mountain, or sometimes not even a house or a building. It was more like a balcony looking thing. But that's where the royals lived. The royal Incas lived further up in the mountain at that time. And some you can see that were that we were told are original and some aren't. And some were made with both the original and with reconstruction. It was damaged due to when the Spanish came in and tried to introduce a new religion to the Incas, which was Catholicism. And the Incas didn't want to do that because the Incas believed that the mountains and stars were their gods. And so when the Spanish came in and pretty much was like, that's ridiculous, you need to believe in this, and they didn't want to. So the Spanish pretty much destroyed all of their temples and a lot of their homes and land. So then a lot of it had to get reconstructed, and like I said, some of it was the natural handmade buildings by the Incas. Okay, so then after that we'll go up a little bit further, so that way we can get a real good view at the mountainside, which you would think is just a normal mountains with like a bunch of gopher holes or something, but it wasn't. These holes were very visible, and it was a cemetery of the Incas. The Incas were also buried in a fetal position with food and some goods, because they believed that that wasn't the end of life, that they were going to be reborn into a new life. And the holes represent the womb or stomach of Mother Nature, so they believed that they were going to get reborn by Mother Earth, giving them life again. Another cool thing was that you would think that there'd be a shitload of mummies and things like that, but that was also destroyed by the Spanish because of religion. The story behind that was that, because some of the royals, for example, the royal bodies weren't placed into these mountain cemeteries. They were mummified and put into their homes, so they continued to live with the family day to day and whatnot. And of course, in Catholicism, they were like, that's evil, you can't do that. And they thought it was ridiculous, and it was an evil thing to do. So they destroyed all the mummies. So from my understanding is they don't have any mummified Incas of the royals anymore because they were burnt and destroyed. So our next place was Ollantaytambo. So I'm pretty sure the last way I pronounced it was the right way, but probably just a lot faster. But that place we went to, and that one was pretty cool. That one was, I think, one of my favorite little cities just in a whole, because like you had, it was a little cooler, and it was just, you saw a lot of the natural spring, and it was a little bit more spaced out. It didn't seem that it was very like on top of each other yet. I really enjoyed it there. When we got to the main park, or the main land of the Incas there, this one was pretty spacious as well. It was really big, but it was a hike. I think it was worse than the first one, and it was fun. It wasn't too difficult as far as the exercising part. I mean, your legs got a little shaky and stuff, the normal stuff, but it was the breathing part. And the higher you went up, of course, the harder it was to breathe. But it was so worth it. When you walk all the way up and you get to the top, you get to also see part of where the royals lived. You also get to see some grinders there as well. And then the main attraction there is the Temple of the Sun, which is these 6 huge stones put together, and it's really high. And at first you look at it, it doesn't look like much, but the story is that they used to have a lot of like, was it panthers? Pumas. It was pumas that were also on the structure, so it was like a design and stuff, but it was ruined after a while, so you don't get to see much of that. But these temples, or this Temple of the Sun, was built in a certain direction because of the way that the sun would hit it, because that was their calendar. That's how they knew the year, that's how they knew the days and the time. On the other side of the Temple of the Sun, there's this mountain, and if you've seen our Instagram, you've seen the pictures of it, but there's this face in the mountain. In this face, you can see the eyes and nose, and then there's like this green part, which is supposed to be the beard. And at the very top, you'll see these ridges that's supposed to be a crown. The big question is that they don't know. They say that it could possibly have been man-made, but they're not sure. On the other side of that one, there's another face. They say that that one wasn't man-made, that's just natural. But either way, with this face, they believe that because the mountains are their god, they believe that that was some type of saint of the mountain. So the last place we went to was the Pueblo of the Chincheros, and there we actually got to see what we've been dying to see since we got here, and that's to see the traditional women making the yarn and clothing and blankets and all kinds of things out of the alpaca fur. When we get there, it's like a little shop, but you have these really beautiful women giving us a little bit of a speech on like how it works. So they started by explaining on how the alpaca never gets washed, never has a bath, and she had some cute humor too. And she was saying that they never take a bath and they're dirty, and so she showed us the process of her washing the fur with the with shampoo, but it's not even your regular shampoo. It's plant-based with hot water, and it gets soapy. It's amazing. You'll see it. And so then it turns really white and they clean it. And then she goes on and showing us on how they get the different colors and how it's dyed. They use a lot of plants, berries, and even some fruits to get the dyes. To change the dyes, they use lemon, they use salt. It's pretty cool on how they do it. They even did a little demonstration on how some of it they use for lipstick and how it's kiss proof. That was like her little joke. It was really cute. But we're gonna go ahead and show you some clips on that, and a little video on her little performance that she gave us, and I hope you enjoy everything.
Para lavarnos el cabello, esta raíz es más conocida como el champú Inca. Nos lavamos nuestros cabellos, evita las canas, pero si ya lo tenemos, no hace milagros. This root we call this Inca shampoo for wash the hair. Look at this is the sheep wool, very dirty. Sheep is never take a shower or never take a bath. Aquí tenemos la lana sucia de la oveja. Como bien sabemos, la ovejita nunca se ha bañado desde que ha nacido. Su primer baño está sucia y grasosa. The sheep is never take a shower. Miren, pueden ver la diferencia. Mejor que la lavadora. Mejor aquí. La flor de colle para las tonalidades amarillas. Cauliflower for often yellow color. This is the Waipili leaves. Can you recollect is green? Can you dye is lilac color? King sacuchu o tres esquinas para el color azul, celeste o turquesa. También es una planta medicinal para el riñón e hígado. Se toma en té. This plant name is King sacuchu or tricorner for often light blue and turquoise color. Also is medicinal plant for kidneys and liver. It's good in tea. La planta chilca para las tonalidades de color verde. Chilca leaves for often green color. Often 6, 7 different color de la cochinilla. This is the first color of cochinilla. For change the color, add salts. Para cambiar de color, voy a agregar la sal de las salineras de Maras Moray. Cambia de color inmediatamente. The second color. The cochineal bowl half an hour. The plants 1 hour. The after process is can you wash and dry in this position. You look.
Alright guys, well hopefully you like our video and you like what you see. I know we enjoyed it. I hope you guys do. And if you like us and you like our videos, follow us on Instagram, One Love 2 Backpacks. Show us some love and subscribe to our YouTube channel.